You're listening to the Mad Positivity Pos'Cast,
helping you find your freedom.
Broadcasting live from London.
So this is the Mad Positivity Podcast, and as usual, I'm John with Russell, and today we're gonna talk about being a melt. And if that, for people that don't understand what being a melt means, that is just lazy, entitled people who think that the world owes them a living.
Exactly.
Like, won't get up, won't do anything, just feel like everything's someone else's fault, blaming everyone else. Right? So what does melt stand for?
Well, just want to put it out there, if you're a sensitive little snowflake, like we have a lot of them out there, then you might want to tune out right now. However, if you can open your mind slightly and just listen intently and think, maybe I can try and see these people's point of view. Because if you do the same shit, you get the same result. If you think the same things, you get the same back. Whether it's positive or negative, whatever you put out there will come back to you, positive or negative, okay? But yeah, I was just driving along in the car. I can't remember what experience I had. I think it was a phone call or something. And I was just like, this guy's just a fucking melt. And we use the word melt a lot. I mean,
You do, yeah, that's it.
I've been using the word melt since I was a kid.
Yeah,
lunch. Yeah, just you're a bit of a lunch, a bit of a melt, a bit of a drip, a bit of a wettis. There's a wet lettuce.
A wettis.
A wettis.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
And yeah, and I was like, I've got to think of like, you know, is it an acronym or what is it when you use the letters to...
Yeah.
Is that it?
Correct.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Right. Been a bit of a melt myself there. But, yeah. Just in general, like, we all know a melt or a bunch of melts, okay? And it stands for a moany, entitled, lazy twat. Okay? And if you're a part of the melts, you're in the moany, entitled, lazy twat society. And just generally these people... And you could be one of them yourself right now, and it's okay to admit this, but we're going to do something about it right now. And I'm going to move on to a personality matrix in a bit, which is something I use for my employees and for my coaches and stuff like that. But usually, generally, you know, these people, they just moan and whinge about everything. They're a victim, they're a cynic. Everything is everyone else's fault except for their own, because it's easier to blame someone else. So they're just a bit moany, a bit whingy, a bit of an energy vampire, suck the life out of you. And at the same time, as you said, they think the world fucking owes them something.
They tend to gravitate to other melts as well.
Exactly.
People, because the positive people, they cut them out of their life. If you've got people like that, you're like, I can't even talk to you, I'm done. You walk away, don't you? They're sucking the energy out of the room, they're sucking the energy out of you, and you just walk away. The only people who will normally sit with these people are people who are gratified. And they're normally types of yes men.
Yeah.
Well, not necessarily yes person, we say now. We can't say yes man anymore. Yes person, right? So that is what you're dealing with, you know. They tend to gravitate to it because they're the only ones who will justify it, give it gratification. Because no one in their right mind, you get people that if you say to them, right, okay, come, we're going to do like 5 more press ups, or we're going to do this one more, they're like, oh, what's the point? Talking themselves out of it already, you know. Most people, you've got people like this in the gym who go there only to just have a chat with someone else, really, you know what I mean? And then they're it's to suck the life out of that person, like, and everything else. You get other ones that are success vampires as well. They hang around with people who are successful because they're thinking, I'll ride the coattails here, and that's it. And then once the wave disappears, instead of helping that person and building up to it, they just fuck off.
Yeah, just go to the next.
And that's it. Go to the next
group
person.
of people that they think are successful.
And that's the worst of the worst.
They usually got short arms and long pockets too.
When you're going up to the bar, I'll just go to the toilet.
Yeah,
you get him in, I'll get the next one. Oh, I've got to go. Wife's calling.
Phone call, whatever it may be, and they know that they're going to be able to dodge it all night and just get that little bit
Terrible
behaviour. But yeah, they are just, you know, generally, we're all entitled to a whinge and a moan, and I say this a lot to people.
You can whinge positively.
Yeah, like my guys in the gym where I work out, ABC Fitness, Leon C, Progress Road, just a little plug there.
Hello.
Jerry East, the owner, Jerry the Beast East. But yeah, and they usually say to me, like, why are you always so positive, you're so happy, you know, nothing really ever phases you and so on. It's because I just decided to make a change. And this happened to me over 4 years ago. I hung around with some people that were slightly different to my current group of friends and current group of associates. And they were kind of like doing things that were complete opposite of others. So their thought process, their actions, the way they took care of themselves, their money, their relationships, their health. And I thought, well, obviously, if like one person's zigging and another zagging, you're going to get a different result.
Cool, sure.
And it just fathoms me how there's the same group of people that spend the time together that aren't necessarily happy with their current situation, whether it be your health, your relationships, or your income and finances, but yet they still keep copying the same habits and actions of the people around them that are exactly the same.
Yeah.
And it could be weeks, months, or even years. It could be 10 years, a decade later, and you're still around the same people, and you're still moaning about the same things. But yet, you're doing the same as everyone else.
Yeah.
But all you need to do is just look at that and go, what if just for 6 months only I did the complete opposite? So for 6 months I do the opposite. So if they're going to go and purchase like the latest All Saints gear or the latest this, or put it on their credit card, or I don't know, go to the pub later, or do things for their family rather than with them, because that's what we're quite guilty of, is doing things for people all the time. So I do this for this person, because you end up throwing it back in their face anyway. So they say, why aren't you around? Why is this, why that? Well, I put this on your table, I put those clothes on your back, I do this for you, I do this for the kids. But it's like, how about why don't you do things with the kids and with me?
Yeah.
Because you lose that value.
That's good.
And you
devalue the other person.
Yeah, exactly. And your relationship will suffer.
Yeah.
And the same thing will suffer for your friends, you know.
Yeah.
I think meeting a friend once a week or once every 2 weeks for a pint. You know, I'm not saying going like full on 0 to 100, dribbling mess in the corner.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. You're meeting up to catch up, have a chat.
Phones off, have a chat, and actually ask them, how are you? How have you been? How's the wife? How's the kids? How's the job? You know, whatever it may be. How's that rash?
Have you got cream for it? You know, have you told anyone about it yet?
And then you'll start to notice after 6 months of doing the opposite to everyone else, you start to create different results in life. And these are the same results of these 5% of the success people. Like, and once again, I've always said, like, success is not measured by how many zeros in your bank account, like how many numbers, more like how many people at your funeral, for example, or the relationship you have in the body, because you want to feel rich as well as be rich. Like, feeling rich is the health and everything else.
Einstein said, be not a man of success, be a man of value.
Be a man of value.
Will follow.
It really will. It really will. And if you're in like the kind of the business game and all that sort of stuff, it's never. It's always going to be a difference between a price and a value problem. Whether people buy, if the value's there, they'll go.
Don't chase the money, right? To provide value, and the money will follow. The success and the money will follow. If you're selling shit, right? You're only going to sell it to morons. And eventually, you're going to run out of that. It's just not going to happen. If you're selling something of value, it's never going to... It's going to be in abundance.
People only buy a can of shit only once. You know what I mean?
True, yeah.
People only buy dog shit in a can once, mate, and that's it. And if that's what you can hype it up all you like, but
just
value...
rebrand the
Yeah, rebrand. Yeah. But the value needs to be there. And, you know, going back to it, like, you know, you will produce different results in life.
Yeah.
By following, there's certain like habitual things they do, their routine, their morning routine, the way they treat themselves first, and then everyone second. Because, you know, on the hierarchy of needs, you come first.
Yep.
Because if you're fucked, everything else will become fucked around you eventually.
Yeah.
Then you're going to start to make a change and have a little look in the mirror, and also own the things that you're moaning about. Write an action plan instead of keep going over and over and over again, like moaning about. I don't know, that you don't feel confident because of your weight, or you don't like the income you've got, or the bills, or the debts on your back, or whatever it may be. Write shit down and create an action plan, like a 3 to 4 step action plan. Let's see what's going on here. What do I want to change? But not also, like, what don't I want from life, and how do I want to feel, and how do I want to affect this? Yeah. So that you can start to regain and take control. Which brings me on to the second point of the melts, okay, so the money is don't think that you're owed something and that it should just come your way by you not putting anything in, because that makes you entitled,
isn't it? Yes. Yeah, that's entitlement. That's hard, that one. That's difficult, because I think I'm slightly guilty of that myself, in the way that I grew up, I didn't have everything, quite a poor upbringing sort of thing, really.
Yes,
you know, but I never realised I was, and that's the beauty of it. I look back at it now compared to what it's like to what I've got now. and I didn't have fuck all. But I'd never realised at the time I didn't have fuck all, because I was surrounded by people who had fuck all. All the people who lived in my street on the council estate where I lived, they had fuck all. And we were all happy. We all used to play out, we all used to do stuff and everything else. My mum and dad, I don't ever feel like I ever wanted for anything, but at the same time, I never had everything. But I was happy, and that contentment has stayed with me. But now with my kids, it's different now. Like you know, we've gone from that era of if it's broken, you fix it, to if it's broken, you throw it out and just buy something new. Consumerism comes in from that. So even that builds a weird rhetoric. Like, it's just, I don't know, it's entitlement is like, you've had everything all your life and now you feel like the world just owes you a living all the time. And I think that is the problem now with most kids, the way they feel like that. School doesn't teach you anything.
No.
You know, it doesn't teach you how to be. It teaches you how to be a worker bee, not someone who's an entrepreneur. Doesn't teach you about the tax system. Doesn't teach you about revenue. Doesn't teach you about interest. Doesn't teach you about anything like that. Doesn't teach you about selling, which is life. Buy and sell, trade, but everything's based upon trade.
Even basic communication.
You know what I mean?
How to build rapport, read body language, all things like how to be tactful and read situations and handle. All this stuff isn't taught. No, definitely. It's just maths and English and then made harder.
They should be teaching life skills.
I remember the last time algebra paid my fucking bills.
It's very true. Geography, I got...
unless I was a maths teacher.
Well, this is it. I did about the River Nile. I've never been there. And even if I was there, what am I going to do? I'm not going to swim in it. Do you know what I mean? Someone, or get a canoe or whatever else. It's like, it's not like, you're not learning anything per se. You're just literally. It's even goes so far as to say, my daughter's going to university.
Yeah.
She's doing 3 A levels to get into university, but the 3 A levels she's doing don't have anything to do with the university course she's doing. So but you've got to get 3 A's to get in to do any course that you've got to do. It's weird, like, to build it up to it. But there's. Which means you could do pretty much anything.
Mm.
Like, you could go for a degree in, say, law, right? You could do 3 years criminology and do the last year in law, and then you're a lawyer.
Yeah.
Or 3 years of photography, do the last one law, to do your BA on your honours degree at the end, and you're a lawyer. That just seems a bit weird. The education system's a bit fucking messed up at the minute. But like, we come from an era now where top flight CEOs and top flight entrepreneurs and multi-millionaires, billionaires are all saying, have you got a college education? They're like, no.
Yeah.
I ain't got a college education. Because they dropped out. Like, there's a famous saying from Elon Musk. He said, I didn't go to Harvard, but all the people who work for me did. Do you know what I mean? And you're spending all that money on education, when you could have been there just taking a fucking chance. It's less and less. That piece of paper means less and less now. And that pressure we put on our children to go and do that. They've just got to have a little bit of common sense and some fucking balls. Mm. That's it. Mm. In your pocket, you've got your phone, you've got your laptop, you've got everything. Everything you need to make a business, do a podcast, sell stuff on drop shipping. Mm-hmm. Buy shit on Amazon and eBay and then flip it. Everything from your phone. Everything. You can make millions.
Yeah.
And do anything you want. It's all in the branding, your own personal brand and how you sell. That's it. And we don't teach any of that. We don't teach the e-commerce to do with any of that in school. Nothing. Not a fucking thing. And I think that's scandalous.
Yeah, it might be because I just think the school system would collapse. Potentially,
it's not for everyone. It's like you got this. You're dishing the kids out water, aren't you? You can't put flavours in it because some people don't like specific flavours.
Yeah.
That's what it is, isn't it? You're selling everyone fucking vanilla ice cream.
Yep.
Because everyone likes vanilla ice cream.
But who wants a vanilla life?
Well,
we're not built for mediocrity.
But that's what it's there for. It's to build you to have a vanilla life because they need worker bees. Do you see what I mean? You have workers, you have soldiers, you have... And that side of things. And that's what they're gearing you up to. They're gearing you up to mediocre because... Not everyone's going to have that life. Not everyone's got the balls to have that life. A lot of people are fucking dreamers and some are doers. Mm-hmm. Yeah? And if you've got to raise people to just sit at that desk and input those numbers and be content with that life. And some people aren't. There's nothing wrong with it. Work is work and money's money.
Of course.
But if you want more and you're destined for fucking more, it's there to take. It's there for the fucking taking.
Yeah.
You should have the balls to do it.
And it's cool if you don't Like, if you don't want to be that, you know, that
you don't want the stress of it.
You want to be that entrepreneur, it's fine. But if you're not happy, then you have to do something about it rather than keep moaning and being entitled and then being too lazy to put in the effort. You really do, like.
And then be angry about it.
Because then that makes you a twat.
And then telling people, I was wasted talent, I could have been this, I could have been that.
Shoulda, woulda, coulda.
Exactly.
Who gives a shit?
You could have been anything you wanted to if you'd have pulled your finger out your arse and actually fucking done something about it. You know? It could be anything. Anything. Something as stupid as sitting across a room, right, and seeing a girl and going to talk to her. Or a boy, whatever. What have you got to lose? What's the worst that can happen? They'll say no.
Exactly.
I've got a boyfriend, I'm married, whatever, blah, blah, blah. I say, thank you.
We get crabs.
Or you get crabs. You get crabs.
It's a double negative there, isn't it?
It is, sort of. Well, it went well, obviously, because you got to that stage and then you got crabs out of it. So that's almost like a, is that karma? I don't know.
Potentially, yeah.
I don't know. Did you done a good thing by going to speak to this girl and you got?
I'm not talking. This is a friend of mine. It's not personal experience or anything like that.
It's a friend of a friend.
But no, it is cool. It's cool to like not want to be this entrepreneur and run your own business. It's absolutely fine. Yeah. But for those that want to and they're not happy with their current situation, you have to do something about it. 0 to 1. Fuck 0 to 100. Yeah. Just make a start.
Of course it is. And momentum. You've got to pick up the fucking momentum.
Yeah. You've got to go from being the lion in Colchester Zoo to the lion in the wild.
Yeah.
Because the lion in Colchester Zoo is a bit lazy. He's a bit entitled. He's probably still playing and flicking the food.
But the longer
the day
he gets, the longer he stays in that fucking place.
Yeah.
The more he'll get used to it. Like if you have a job, you're out of work for a few weeks.
You're going to become conditioned.
You're chomping at the bit, that's right. But then once you start getting used to sitting there and you're fucking exercising your thumb, pressing the Netflix
but this is it.
button,
the food's there every day, so you're not going to work for it. You've probably still got leftovers from the day before. You're playing with the food because you know it's going to be thrown to you every day. But it's going to be the bare minimum. And if that lion in the zoo was put into the wild, that lion's going to get fucked by the gazelle, not the other way around.
Of course it is.
But if you're the lion in the wild, you know that you've got to stay hungry.
Yeah.
You've got to put in that effort. You've got to get your comfort zone so you can eat every single day.
Fucking starve.
You have, or you will. Yeah, you'll starve.
Or if you are an intelligent lion, you have a pack of lionesses that do it for you, and that is your entrepreneur. Like you at that stage, you build your pack to get to that point to where you got to be. You know.
Yeah.
That's what you got to do. Like I said, it literally just is taking that chance. Look, the lion's going to starve otherwise. That's it, and it ain't going to do it. It's just you're building up the hierarchy. You start off as like that cub, that hungry lion that's taking chances. Then you go out on your own. You build up an accumulation of people that you're the CEO, the lionesses of people who work with you. You don't even have to feed yourself anymore. You've built that empire, and now other people are working it for you.
Yeah.
But then that is also the reason for that vanilla mediocrity, because some people are destined to lead, some to follow. That's it, and it's not in everybody to do it. Anybody can do it, but it's not for everybody. Some people don't like the responsibility. Some people don't like the work. Some people are happy. Like I said to you before, an entrepreneur is someone who'll do 100 hours for himself rather than do 40 hours for an employee.
Yeah.
Like to be an employee and do it. Some people have for that. And you might have a mustard job that you love, you know, and fair play to you if that's the case, because you're living a fucking dream. You're living a dream. You're happy. And when you're happy, it's not work.
No.
You're going to work every day and you're having a laugh, then that's a different story. If you love that and your family will call and everything's cool and good luck to you,
Friday night and you're dreading Sunday evening, then what is life about? You know?
What are you celebrating?
What are you celebrating?
You get all the way to fucking Friday. It's Monday morning and you've got the trout pat on that we said about the train. You've got all these people that are like, they look like fucking zombies. It is a scene out of Walking Dead. And I'm waiting for Rick to just come out and start popping a few off, you know. And then they get to like Wednesday and they're all always the hump day. And then you get all the hump day pictures on Instagram and Facebook. Jesus fucking Christ. Do you know what I mean? You're wishing your life away. Every day begins with a Y, right? They're the days that you can earn money. They're the days you get the extra fucking chance. There's one point in your day right, that you are allowed to think, oh, and that's when you first open your eyes, you swing your legs around, you put on the floor, and then you slap yourself in the face and you say, man up, conquer your inner bitch, stand up, walk to the fucking toilet, brush your face, clean your teeth, yeah, and brush your face. That's it.
Brush your hair.
Yeah, just go grab a toilet brush your face, that's it, brush your hair, just get out and do some fucking exercise. Do you know what I mean? Go drink your coffee, whatever. Leave your phone alone. Social media will still be there in 45 minutes when you come back from a run, or do a bit of yoga, do a bit of stretching, whatever. Do some exercise. Forget it. There's nothing that important, right, on your phone that you need. The first thing you do when you open your eyes is to glare at that screen. Nothing. Fuck all. Do you know what I mean? It's not. It's there. If at 5 a.m. when your alarm goes off, you have to look at your phone at 5 a.m., get up at 4:30.
Yeah, no, I agree.
And then look at your phone at 5.
Yeah.
Yeah? That's what you should do, you know what I mean? There's no reason. It is, people feel it's an extension of their arm. Don't get me wrong, makes you money. I can't do it without mine, I need it. So that's it, for money, whatever else. But it doesn't have to be the be-all and end-all of everything. No. You can have a conversation. You can go meet your mate, like you said, in the pub and have a drink. Put the fucking phone upside down on there. They automatically go on Do Not Disturb now. You know?
Yeah.
You just don't need it. You don't need distraction. You need to be fucking...
I'm trying to get out of that. I've been trying to get out of that for a while now. Yeah. And I have my days and good days and bad days and so on. But it's becoming like a condition, because even if you're watching a programme on your own or with your missus, whatever, you're on your phone while watching the programme.
Of course you are.
So you're only half watching, or on the advert breaks, or you'll take your phone with you while you have a shit.
But in the adverts, they've got text this number and do this, and like the X Factor, play along with the game and do it on your phone. It's they're interacting it. They're even using it as like an advertising tool, which is clever in a way, but you don't need that all the time.
But going back to, like, if you feel you're stuck in the rat race or stuck in a job that you don't want to be in and you want to do something for yourself, I know it is hard to get out of it, because it took me a long time to do it myself. And it is what you become conditioned to. It's
self-education.
Self-education comes majorly into it, and it is what you're conditioned to, because, I might have got these age ranges slightly out, but what I've learned, like, from doing some form of NLP, which is neuro-linguistic programming, it's like to do with the conscious and subconscious mind. Most of what we feel that we're either entitled to, or what we deserve, or what should come back to us, and our belief systems and everything else, comes from like 0 to about 5 to 7 years old. So, for example, imagine, like, as a child, like, there wasn't much money around. So every single birthday you got an apple, every single Christmas you got an orange. But then on your 17th birthday, there was a BMW out on the front porch, on the driveway. Your initial thought would be, that's not for me and I don't deserve this. So
the gratitude as well would be unbelievable.
The gratitude would be unbelievable, but your initial thought would be, this isn't for me, I don't deserve this shouldn't be happening. So this can stick with you later on in life. That's going to shape all of your current belief systems and how you feel that you're what you can obtain in life.
Yeah.
And you need to kind of have a word with yourself and write yourself a new story and a new set of beliefs to say that I am worthy of money, I am worthy of income, I am worthy of freedom, I am worthy of happiness, and it will come back to me. And the same with love. If you didn't have much love as a child, and this does happen, then you can have relationship problems in the future, because you think, like, I'm not acceptant of love, I don't deserve love, and everything else. But
you go the other way, and you don't want to give it. You don't know how to.
Yeah, that's it. And it's your subconscious and conscious. So your subconscious is telling you this, but you sometimes need to be able to switch. They're like filters. You need to be able to switch your filters from the conscious to subconscious. It's like you can switch your filters in your brain. If you catch yourself, you need to catch yourself in these moments and go, hang on a minute, stop being a fucking metal and sort this situation out and have a different outcome. Because there's reaction and response. And you can have your negative filters on all day. Imagine like a blind. So, like, you've got a blind and the shutters are open, so all the light can filter in. But all that light can be positivity. But sometimes the filters are closed and they reopen and the negativity comes in.
Yeah.
So we've all had those days, like the alarm doesn't go off, you stump your toe, the dog's took a shit on the floor, there's traffic, the car don't start, your boss is on your case, everything happens. And you've got these negative filters on all day.
Yeah.
So you're only switched on to negativity. And this mainly subconsciously. So every decision you make, every action you do, every thought that you have is geared around this negativity. You get home, you're in a bit of a funk, but throughout that day someone could have said, like, oh, your beard looks nice today, I like your trainers, but you don't remember it because you're on this negativity. And you can change your filters and your way of thinking, but it takes training. And it takes repetition, because you're going to suck at it first. And if we suck at something in life, like if you suck at sports or throwing a ball or writing emails or doing adverts, you don't enjoy it. And if you don't enjoy it, you're going to stop doing it. But if you practice and practice and practice, like with these like filters and thinking positivity and trying to figure out that I'm not negative, I'm just feeling negative, I can change this, I can change that. Excuse me, over time you're going to get good at this and you're not going to suck, and then you're going to start to enjoy it, and then you're going to do more of it.
Because your brain's going to change. It's like
your brain's going to change.
Your brain is a creature of habit. It adapts to how you are. Like they say, you are at the sum of the 5 people you spend the most time with.
Yeah.
And if those 5 people you spend the most time with are negative fucks, right, and they turn around and keep saying, oh, this and this and this, your brain is going to learn by that.
Yeah.
And you are going to become negative, and it's very difficult to train your way out of it.
And this is what I mean. It's going to affect those filters. So you literally segued into what I was going to say, which is perfect. Because same again with this negativity, that's all you're surrounded by like colleagues, work people, family, friends, then the filters are going to take subconsciously more and more of it over and over again. So that's all you're going to be actually conditioned to. But you can change it by changing your mindset, by having a word with yourself, trying not to respond and exchange energy with people, saying, like, oh, fuck it, you're being a bit of a dick today, but I don't want that outcome today, so I'm going to go, look, you own that, I acknowledge that you're being a bit of a knob, but I'm going to move on. But you can do that, and there's nothing wrong with that, because why should you let them rule your day and rule your mind?
No, that's it. And
we say we should have free thoughts and freedom of speech, freedom of action, but we're becoming a slave to everyone else's energy, and we're conforming to
it's right what people say in it. Nobody can upset you without your permission, because you allow them to do it. If you don't allow
me, brother, allow me.
That's it. Yeah, big up. That's it.
Big up your chest.
It's you've got to be a step above. You haven't got to let people suck the fucking life out of you.
Nope.
Every time you haven't got. You can move on. You can walk away. It's difficult when it's your family, though. Like obviously, I think for people who are stuck, they need to find an outlet, and they need to find a way to get out of that negative funk. Because you're always going to get people that are holding you back.
Yeah.
You know, but sometimes you've got to let people who think they've got that potential, just let them ride it. You know what I mean? Because the worst thing that can happen is the best thing that can happen, and that's they fail. Because you fail, you learn, you fail again. You know, I like to say one thing: WTF? Willing to fail.
Willing to fail.
That's it. Willing to fail. Fucking look, go out there. Don't be afraid to fail. Be afraid not to try. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Don't be a melt. Go out
with
and
your
fail.
family.
Go fail. And I said to my kids, they're like, fail, Dad, do you want me to fail? Yes, I do. I want you to go out and say to me, I did this today and I fucked it up 3 or 4 times, but I learned. Tomorrow I'm going to go and do it and I'm going to succeed and I'm going to do it. I failed today, Dad, I did this and I did this and I did this. You didn't fail, you learnt a lesson.
You learnt a lesson, yeah.
That's what you did.
Exactly.
And the next time, if you fail again, you learnt another lesson and another one and another one. That's it. And if you fail for the same reason again, the lesson is, you're a dick, don't do it again, and that's it. Whatever way you look at it, you win or you learn a lesson. That's it. You know, I never lose money I paid for lessons.
Yeah.
Some fucking expensive lessons, but but I learned by it. You know what I mean?
I've been there. Yeah.
I wrote a blog post actually that I posted up last night, and it was called Letting Go, and it was about the pest control company that I used to own. And it was about how I built that from scratch, and it started to go downhill and it wasn't working, and I wouldn't let that go. I knew I could turn it around, I could do it, and I kept pumping money into it, and it was losing money. And then in the end, I just had to make a decision, and it did upset me a little bit, and just to let it go. But in letting it go, it has sprouted 2 or 3 other ideas to do with that I never would have had if I didn't go through that. But everything I learned from that, you know, it's a positive thing to let go sometimes. You have to get to a point where you realise, you go, do you know what, enough is enough.
Yeah.
You've got to cut your losses and you've got to walk.
Because out of disaster comes opportunity.
Absolutely.
I was watching, I can't remember the name of this programme I was watching the other day, but he was saying about, like, the saying was that this farmer used was like, what am I to say what's good or bad? So, for example, there was this farmer, okay, and one of his horses got let loose, and then the villagers came over and said, look, your horse is gone, this is terrible. And then the farmer said, well, what am I to say what's good or bad? A week later, that horse came back with 12 horses that had followed him. So now he's got 12 horses.
Tenfold.
And he was like, fucking hell, this is great. And then, like, one of his sons started riding the horses, and then his son fell off the horse and broke his leg. And then the village was like, this is terrible, this is terrible. And then the farmer said, what am I to say that's good or bad? So this is like linked in for BDS, your pest control. And then what happened was a week later, while he's resting in bed, the emperor came of wherever they was and was drafting people for a war. But then looked at his son, because he had a broken leg, and said, he can't go. So then another thing came of it. Everything happens for a reason, and there's a butterfly there. Yeah. So when something disastrous happens, this is going back to the negativity. Like, what are you to say was good or bad? It all happens for a reason, and it will always work itself out, because where you are right now is where you're supposed to be. And there's like the circle and everything else. It's like if you change it, and you can change these filters, you can be more switched on to the positivity, so that all you kind of filter in is positive, positive, positive. So if a negative comes in, you shut it out and go the other way. And how you can do
you
this...
can turn it to a positive.
Yeah, because if you're conditioned to just negativity only, you need to recondition yourself so that you recognise positive feelings.
Yeah.
Like, for example, have you ever been around a friend's house and you've not seen a logo or branding on their clothes before, and they tell you what it is? Or they bought a new car. So you've never seen this car before, so it could be the new Beamer, the new Merc. What happens for the next day or so when you're driving?
You see them everywhere.
You see that car everywhere. But that car wasn't created there and then, was it?
That's
it's
true,
just because now your filters are switched on to that brand or car.
Yeah.
So now you're like, oh, fuck, I'm taking it. Like, I bought a BMW last year, right? After having a Corsa for 3 years, okay, all right? I didn't buy any shiny shit for 3 years, but now I can, all right? Yeah, because it's not putting me in debt, all right?
That's it.
But...
You've upgraded.
Honestly, I can't stop seeing BMWs everywhere.
You will do, yeah.
You know, I'm looking for M4s because, like, you know...
Well, it's the same with my truck, actually, saying that.
But it's exactly the same thing with the positivity. So if it's around you more, you're like, oh, okay, I can see why he's so happy, she's so happy. You become more conditioned to it, and then you retrain your brain.
You almost become... It almost gravitates to you then, doesn't it? You know? It's good. You've got to be able to spread that around. There's no reason why you can't.
Share the love.
Share the love. I said, spray it everywhere. It's all good. I like to try and change. If I'm in a meeting or I'm somewhere, I like to try and be predictably unpredictable in a way that no one knows what I'm going to do next. You know, I like to make people laugh. I like to do. That's the atmosphere. I think if it's a more... People are more susceptible if you have like a positive atmosphere. You know what I mean? You get more done. People talk to them. No one's standoffish. The guards calm down. You get rid of all the cunty behaviour and you get it out of the room. You know what I mean? There's no need for it. There's no need for it whatsoever. And once you've lived that way for a little while, you'll start to go back to your old life and you'll go, what the fuck? I don't deal with this. I'm not sit here like this and listen to this shit. I'm going to go somewhere else. Because you'll sit at your desk and the same fucking person sitting next to you is going to be moaning and whinging about something, and the other person, the other side, still moaning about his girlfriend or his husband or how their neighbour's doing this, but yet you're doing nothing about it. Nothing. Yeah. You're just festering. You know, you're just winding yourself up, torturing yourself again and again and again, and day by day by day, when you could be doing something. And I still go back to the stopwatch theory. Like I say to my boys, I'm like, listen, don't come home here and tell me that you hate your job. You know, when you're doing nothing about it. If you come home and say, I hate my job, then sit on the computer looking for a new job or looking for some training. The second you start that training, you've literally clicked that stopwatch and that time is ticking down to the day you can go to your boss, fuck off, I'm out of here. Do you know what I mean? I don't recommend that, by the way, because don't burn bridges. You know what I mean? But like, just, you can get out, you can get away. That's it. And in your mind, that stopwatch is ticking down and you can see the light at the end of the tunnel, so therefore things are differently. You know, you look at things differently. You try, like, your attitude changes, things change, and you'll find that the last couple of weeks of that job will probably be better because you know you're not stuck there. Do you know what I mean? You maybe start to think, oh, this ain't too bad after all, but it's not the job that's changed, it's you. It's your attitude. Jack Sparrow, I said this before, it's not... Yeah, the problem is not the problem. The problem is your attitude towards the problem. And that's what Jack Sparrow says. You know what I mean? That's a great analogy. You know what I mean? It's happened. The problem is not that it's happened, it's how you reflect on what's happened and how you deal with it. And that's it. Don't be a melt. Man up. Go handle your fucking business.
Handle your shit.
You see it. Handle your business.
Yeah.
That's it. Don't go crying to people and telling people, oh, this happened to me. Like, the worst one for me, and it grates me, right? Which is one of the reasons why I don't bother going on Facebook anymore. And it's the whole...
Send the post counts.
Oh, can't believe it. And then that's the post. And then you've got people go, what's the matter, hun?
Oh, don't.
You know, I sabotage those posts. That's it. When I see it, I sabotage it. You know, I put a big picture of a cucumber on there or something. There's all sorts of things I do. Do you know what I mean? I put on
Easy.
I put on all sorts of things. Like my boy put on there the other day, my son, like, and I tried to tell him stop doing it. Do you know what I mean? Because
stop being a milk.
That's it. Be careful what you put on Twitter. Be careful what you put on Facebook. Be careful what you put on everywhere. Because you go for a job interview or you go and do something, they bring up your internet history. That's it. So he put on there the other day. So he put this post on. And it said, say how you met me, right? And that was what it said. It's one of these fucking clickbait phishing posts, right? So people will put in, oh, we met in school, or oh, we met in a club, or oh, we met through so-and-so. So I put my ball bag, right? Because that's, I said to him, you used to live in my ball bag. And all his mates come on, just tearing him up. So it went from like this really weird sort of mishy-mushy serious post to like a free-for-all, just a funny free-for-all, and it made it quite funny to sort of read, because he like, oh, Jesus Christ. That was it. He's done a few since that I've sabotaged. But the point is, it's like, you can't take things too fucking seriously on there. Like, social media is like that. It is a minefield.
Yeah.
You should treat it for work, right? Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, free, biggest advertising platforms at the minute. Video is key this year. Mm-hmm. Absolute key. Selling anything, doing anything, you're going to be anybody. Video's the one, which is why the podcast in the next couple of weeks will have, once we set the studio up over the other side of the room over there, we'll have proper video. So we'll have like video link and everything.
Oh yeah, video is key. It really is, and it's pattern interruption as well. So when you're swiping through Facebook, your thumb's going mad. You know, you're gonna stop on a video rather than you are on an image. And now it's videos with subtitles as well. I'm trying to get my head around subtitles at the moment.
Yeah, because people like me, I don't have the volume up.
Well, if you're on the train, you don't want the volume up. If you're sitting on the train, and it also might be that.
And we've all been sabotaged with that. Fucking video.
It's got me so many times.
All the time. It's just.
I remember when I had to move back into my parents when I was starting my business up. And I didn't realise I sent, one of those videos that lures you in, you think it's going to be a video of someone having a fight or whatever it is, and out of nowhere comes that massive sex noise. And somehow the volume of your phone just amplifies. Anyway, so I'm in the spare room where I was staying at my parents for a while. It's about 3-4 years ago. And I got one of those videos, and I meant to send it to one of my friends called Pete. But my stepdad's also called Pete as well. So I didn't realise. So my mum, my stepdad, they're in the lounge. My sister's over with her husband and their 2 little kids. Oh, no, not 2 kids. No, just Lily at the time. So she was about 3 years old. And I'm sitting in bed. And all I heard from the other side of the house was, And then my mum went, what was that? You fucking pervert. Started slapping me on the arm, give me your phone. Honestly, I got in so much trouble because I sent it to the wrong person. But it was fucking hilarious. It really was. But that is it. Like, don't take life too seriously. But I think, like, you know, we've touched on being a melt and how not to be a melt, and why being a melt just gives you melty results in life. And it is down to mindset, but it's also it's educating yourself more. Educate yourself. I started reading books and I started listening to podcasts. I started to read people's blogs. I started to consume information. I was obsessed with YouTube. I remember when I was teaching, and as I said before, I was teaching personal training courses and empowering people and telling them that they can have the life of their dreams by working in the fitness industry. Yet I wasn't doing that. I know I was teaching fitness, but I was getting back on track. Yeah. So what I started to do is, do you remember the guy Elliot Holtz? Yeah. Strength Camp. Yeah. He had the videos. He was going, "Yo, Elliot," and then he asked all your questions. Yeah. Right? For about 6 months straight, I must have watched. He's still got it going now, but I must have watched 2 to 3 of his videos every day. I'd sometimes be cleaning the house of a weekend, just have him on in the background on YouTube on the TV, and I was watching him, and he was inspiring me. He wasn't just speaking about how to get a body, but how to get a better mindset, how to not deal with the shit in life, how to raise your tolerance levels, how to raise your standards, and everything else. So start consuming new things, like reading books. I read what is the book? I just bought a copy for my missus. it's gone out of my brain. But The Secret was one of them. The Secret
I've
was
never
one of
read
those.
that, and people keep saying that when I talk about positivity and stuff like that, they're like,
Get
"Oh,
my
you
hands
got
on.
that from The Secret," and I've never read it. Never read it at all. Recently, the books I read again recently, I read The 4 Hour Work Week again. Love that book. Awesome book. I read Jordan Belfort's Wolf of Wall Street again. That thing about the straight line system as well. I've read nearly all of Grant Cardone's books.
Love Grant Cardone.
If you've never read any of that,
Did you know Grant Cardone has a brother?
Yeah.
And he's trying to take over real estate in the UK. And guess where his fucking office is?
Oh.
Below Clayton's.
Is he really?
Grant Cardone's brother. Grant Cardone's a 10x guy. He
just had the biggest
Clayton has a
conference in the world.
Yeah, 10x. The 10x.
Yeah,
it was like the Super Bowl.
It was in a stadium, wasn't it?
Yeah. He is awesome. And I watched a lot of
Russell
people.
Brunson's and that.
Yeah, Russell Brunson, Cliff Funnels.
I've got all his books here as well.
But this is the thing. It's like,
I didn't know that. We'll get him on here. We'll have to speak to him.
Yeah. We see if we can. I mean, Clayton would be a great person to get.
Yeah, I'll be showing him again.
But start with the mind first, and then start changing those thought patterns, and then start learning. The sales, the marketing, and everything else, because it does change. The Riches Within. The Riches Within was the book. One of the first books I read. It was given to me by someone. And then I've just bought a copy for my missus to read as well.
Is it good?
Yeah, it's about your 7 hidden treasures, and I can't remember them all off the top of my head, but it's basically retraining your brain to say how you can turn any negative situation or negative news or actions into positivity. Coming from a guy called Dr. DeMartini, who was a write-off from a child who basically was, is it dyslexic and dyspraxic? It's a different form of dyslexia, but he was told that he had educational problems, learning difficulties, he'd never be anything, and he started to believe this, and then he left school at an early age. He then became homeless. He then became like a vagabond. He was going from city to city, town to town as a homeless person. He got some really rare blood condition because he got blood poisoning from doing that. He nearly died. And then all of a sudden he met someone who was more like into like Buddhism and different thought processes, and it awakened him to a new way of thinking.
Okay.
And then, cut a long story short, he carried on practicing, and this person that was a writer basically just said he was a dumb cunt. He'd never be anything or get anywhere in life. Ended up training himself to be a chiropractor. And not only a chiropractor, but one of the best chiropractors in America, that then spurred him into becoming a consultant for chiropractor buildings and companies. And then he was one of the biggest for those. And now he's an award-winning speaker, influencer, mindset coach, author, does seminars everywhere, had one in Canary Wharf last year. And that's all coming from someone that was complete write-off, that was homeless, nearly died from a blood disease from being homeless, to go into that. And I read that book.
Love that.
And that book started the spiral effect and the chain reaction to change my life. And I remember I was trying to empower my students at the time when I was teaching and say, look, this book could change your life and I can teach you some things from it as well. And they were saying, well, sir, how can like any negative situation turn it positive? And I was like, well, what if you lost your job right now? And I was like, sweet, don't have to commute no more. I fucking hate trains. And then I started reeling off, get to spend more time with my missus, with my girlfriend at the time. I get to spend more time on my health, because at the moment I'm eating shit and I'm tired all the time and I'm not exercising enough because of all the work. But that was the excuses I was giving myself back then. However, and I was like, and now, because as I was reading these books and watching Elliot Holmes and all these podcasts, I was like, I want to start my business venture again in fitness. I was like, well, I can start it now. I'm going to remove my safety net. And I kept going on and on until they said, like, just shut up, you're boring me. And I was like, how can you do that? How can you do that? And going back to that, what can you say is right or wrong or negative or positive when there is always going to be something that happens after, and you can turn disaster into opportunity?
Yeah. Like they say, oh no.
I let the dog out.
Yeah, get the dog out. The dog is in the studio.
Massive Rottweiler.
Yeah, he's got, Rottweiler.
Huge
He's a squirrel. He's going crazy.
Yeah. What's bigger, the squirrel or the dog?
Probably the squirrel. I don't know what she'd do if she ever caught one of them squirrels. I really don't know. But yeah, it's where was we? Fucking trying to fault, God.
Just because we let the dog out. No, but I was just saying how you can, like, using that book, change what.
Oh, yeah. I read that then. I know, they love a story like that. Oprah Winfrey stories around the same sort of thing as that. She had some right fucked up times. I read like about her when she was younger. I think, no, in fact, who was it?
Well, we're going to see Tony Robbins.
That was it. Tony Robbins was one who was bigging it up. I think it was an article written by Tony Robbins, actually. Yeah, Tony Robbins, he's a unbelievable character, that fella. He really is. I mean, some people truly like have that motivational sort of way about them that you just can't, and that guy's one of them.
Tony Robbins is immense, absolutely immense. And if you've, make time this week. Netflix. He has a 2-hour documentary called I Am Not Your Guru.
Yeah.
And it is amazing.
I've
watched it 2 to 3 times now. I sometimes watch it on a Sunday to get fired up for my working week. I watched it with the missus recently, and it fucking made me cry, made me bawl my eyes out because of the things that people are going through every single day, and they're coming out the other side. And he does this thing called, I'm outstanding by this, influence and spreading your message and showing up every day, putting your content out on all different social media platforms to get yourself known so that you become in demand, so you can almost have like a waiting list for people. So he does seminars every single week in different countries all around the world, but he has one per year called Date with Destiny. Okay, and Date with Destiny is in Florida, and my goal is for next year, because I'm 35 next year, is to go to Date with Destiny. Okay, I want to go to Date with Destiny. I want to take you with me.
I'm 40 next year. Let's do it.
Yeah, you're 40 next year, and what are we doing for that again? It's changed now, isn't it?
I don't know, from Las Vegas to skiing.
To Miami. I'm up for skiing. But
we're going to Miami anyway.
You're coming to Date with Destiny.
Yeah, I'm up for that.
Okay, you're coming with me. And this is how crazy it's, right? It's 6 days in Florida. I'd like to go to Florida for 2 weeks because have a little holiday after. But it's 6 days, right? And he has 2,500 people there, and they all pay $5,000 each. Okay. That is 12.5 million in revenue for 6 days. Yeah, there's a production team, there's a hotel, there's lighting and all that. But just think of what he's got to now, the amount of people he's helped and touched through, that he can do that in one hit. And that's just a smidgen of his income.
It's crazy. Like Russell, that 10X conference with Grant
Cardone, yeah.
Russell Brunson, the one who did the ClickFunnels, he made something like 3 million in 90 minutes.
Yeah, it's crazy.
While he was on, doing the stage, and that's unbelievable. But that's the sort of, these are people that can command that sort of money because of the value that they're delivering. They're not fucking snake oil salesmen. People genuinely believe in it because it works. If you don't know Russell Brunson, you should look it up. He's the guy who created ClickFunnels. I think it was a joint thing. He's got a partner as well. I can't remember the guy's name, but he wrote a couple of books. I've got them here. And they're amazing, unbelievable books. You should really read them. The book's name, Expert Secrets, and the other one was Internet Underground Playbook, I think it was. But it is basically telling the story of ClickFunnels and how he's created that. But now, ClickFunnels, you use ClickFunnels, you know what I mean? So do I. I'm still building my course set. That's amazing.
ClickFunnels Bootcamp. You can make money from ClickFunnels. There's an entire course on it. So when you next go onto ClickFunnels, go onto the ClickFunnels Bootcamp. So it's a way for you to spread the word about ClickFunnels.
Oh, like an affiliate thing?
Yeah, and you can make an income from it alone.
Oh, I might do that, because I've been on it, since you showed me last time, since we went through it before. I'd heard of it, and obviously, but I haven't met anyone like yourself who's been on it. And I'm about a quarter of the way through. I've been writing a course on how to do podcasting. I've been doing it sort of and building it up to get to that stage and to help other people how to do what we do, like from not just the recording and everything else, the gear and everything, but the more advanced side of how to get it on all platforms, YouTube, build your site, everything else to get it to that stage. And it's, everyone should broadcast themselves. I think it's a great thing to sit here and just, it's therapeutic. I'm now getting in the car. When my wife gets in the car, she puts Kiss or Heart or something like that on. If I hear music, I'm like, what the fuck? Because I listen to audiobooks. I listen to. If I'm listening to a radio station, I listen to LBC, where I'm listening to conversation, Financial Times or something like that. I'll listen to loads and loads of really short podcasts because there's loads of them. There's some really great ones, really great podcasts. One particular one I'd recommend for you is called Smart Passive Income by a guy named Pat Flynn. Brilliant, really good. Only about half an hour, 40 minutes a piece, but it's quite influential for what it is. It's very, very good. There's a few. I'll put a list up on the website as well. But I'm very much sold by the whole podcast thing. There's something for everyone on there, and it's amazing. That free content is absolutely epic. It really is good. Like, there's nothing you not want. You can have a 10-minute motivational cast, like where it's literally just motivation.
Oh, it could be anything. People listen about the latest fishing gear being reviewed. Podcasts are now the new radio.
Yeah, of course it is. Yeah.
You can create your own radio station from this, and whatever you are passionate about. Because once again, this is going back to like people saying, like, I don't have a qualification. So say you wanted to be like a historian, like working in a museum, a historian, and so on, and you're like, well, I know everything about the Civil War. But yeah, I didn't go and get a degree in the Civil War. Or I didn't get a degree in, sociology for 3 years and then do 1 year in history and then get a fucking job. But what ends up happening is then they lose that passion and lose that light. But having a voice now, having a YouTube channel, a podcast, you can talk about the Civil War till the cows come home. And because you're so fucking passionate about that, you're probably overqualified for that job. You're probably better than the person that's got the qualifications right now. Because there are so many people out there right now doing the shit that people that have the qualifications for aren't actually doing. Because they're daring to do so and they're pushing their passion every day.
You don't need to answer to anyone. Be your own boss. I said this to Danny, I did it to my brother. He went to university to be a journalist.
Yeah.
Come out of university, didn't work out for him. I think he wanted like a job at the Times or something like that, and he wanted to write a column. I said to him...
He told me first he wanted to work for Nuts magazine. That's the dream. And Loaded.
He did.
He did work experience.
He work experience, yeah, he did.
I remember.
And it was at London Bridge, it was Bankside, 1, 2, 3.
He called me on his lunch break, right? And I was like, how's it going, Danny? This, that, and the other. And I said, I think he was working for Loaded or Nuts or FHM, one of the others.
Yeah.
And I think at the time I was working...
roofing, I think.
I was roofing. So, I mean, I enjoyed it. It was good banter, but it wasn't what I wanted to do, you know, dealing with shit all day and getting tea bags thrown at my face by my boss and stuff like that. So I told you that story.
Getting tea bags, yeah.
And I said, how's your morning been? He was like, I've just been searching porn sites all day. And I was like, what for? And do you remember there was that section, the porn alike?
Yeah.
So there'd be like still shots, like screenshots as we call them now, but still shots, like print screens of different porn scenes where one of the other actors or actresses looked like a celebrity. I remember one of them was like Rude Van Nistelrooy bending some bird over, and it literally looked like Rude Van Nistelrooy. Yeah. And I think that's what he was doing with work experience was fight. So he's like this, and then I was like, I so wish I went to university. That was the only time I thought I wish I went to uni.
But that's it though. I've said to him though, right? There's no reason. See, Nuts and Zoo and that, they're gone now. They're gone now. They don't exist anymore. But there's no reason. Yeah, but there's no reason why you can't make a blog like an internet magazine like that anyone can have, and it can be free. And as long as more people
get a newsletter to it.
Yeah, newsletters. There's advertising side of things. There's ways to monetize absolutely everything. There's like but you just have to give out enough value and enough quality content to build it up. That's the key. That's the key to everything.
Yeah.
But, yeah. So good, yeah, that's it. Well, the lesson for today, children, is don't be a melt.
Don't be a melt.
Okay? Get up off your arse, get it done. Okay? You just, that's it. Set yourself clear goals. It doesn't have to be big. It doesn't have to be like sort or anything else. Baby steps. Piece by piece to get to where you got to go. You could have something to do by the end of the week, and if you leave it to the last minute, it's one fucking mammoth job. But if you split it up into small chunks over 7 days, 7 really small jobs, at the end of the week, it builds up everything from trading to savings to everything. Let it build. Fall in love with the process to get to it. Anything rushed ain't worth shit. Because if it's rushed, any fucker can do it. You know?
And if you do catch yourself being a melt, I'm going to teach you guys next week.
Give yourself
I'm going to run through how to do that. I'm going to run through the personality matrix. So it's in 4 sections. I'm going to speak about the 4 different sections, and then we're going to add into that so that you can actually recognise and catch yourself when you're being one of these 4 types of personalities. Okay, they're using a general word, but you can associate with them, and it's just basically we call it the Meltrix. Not the Matrix, all right? So you either live in the Meltrix or out of the Meltrix.
I'm going to make a video. I'm going to make a a thing of that.
We need so many t-shirts. Living in the Meltrix. Anyway, that's enough from me. Living in the
Meltrix. That's it. Well, thanks for listening. I hope you got some sort of quality content out of that. If you need to speak to us or you need to come through to us, you can go to madpositivity.tv or you can email us. It's john@madpositivity.tv or russell@madpositivity.tv. All of the links are on the website. Again, that's madpositivity.tv. So, and if you can get hold of us everywhere on YouTube, Facebook, everything, all of the platforms if you want to talk to us and anything else, So that's enough from us. Peace out, Ross. Laters.
See ya.